Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
This actress achieved her most lasting recognition as the doomed Marion Crane in Alfred Hitchcock's 1960s psychological horror film Psycho. It has been listed among the greatest films of all time. Janet Leigh earned an Oscar nomination and a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress. She tells us about the famous shower scene and the length of time it took to shoot it. She'll explain how she got the part and how they handled nudity at that time. And what about the knife plunging into her body while she was in the shower?
Janet Leigh is on the Bob Berry Calls the World Wire, and Janet has made more than 50 films, has had an Oscar nomination for Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, and I want to tell you, Janet, that shower scene in Psycho really stands out. You know, when I think of scenes from movies, this is one that comes to mind.
It's amazing that it had such an impact, and what's strange or not strange, because I understand the why, is that the younger generation who weren't even born, because they see it on television, I get as much mail about it from the youngsters as I do from my contemporaries.
I believe it. What was it like to film that Psycho shower scene?
It was very wet.
Was it kind of scary? I mean, was it...
Well, it was 7 days, 7 shooting days, and 71 setups of pretty wet stuff. The main fright for me came when I saw it, because then you saw all of the montage effect, which is boom, boom, boom. And it really did. I never take showers, but...
You don't take showers now?
No, I don't. But in the filming, it wasn't that scary, except when that figure pulled back the curtain. That was scary, even in the take.
Where was it filmed? Was the shower right in the studio?
Oh yeah.
I see.
It was a Paramount release, but it was filmed at Universal.
I was going to say that. You mean that little house there on the hill at Universal that we see on the tour?
Right.
Did you do any filming in it?
That really was the house.
But I mean, was there any filming done inside that house?
No.
It was just used for...
That was the exterior. The interiors were done on a stage.
So probably there was nothing behind that house then, huh? Was it a shell?
I guess. I'm not sure. I've not been inside of it.
Now, were you actually dragged, put in a sheet and dragged to the car?
That's the one part I was. That was the only time that I know that I was not. That was not me.
Did you have to?
Mr. Hitchcock felt that it's a long shot, and why should he bump me over in the sheet when you couldn't see who it was anyway?
Yeah. Were you nude for that scene?
I wasn't in that one.
No, I mean for the shower scene?
But the shower? No, I had moleskin over my vitals.
Moleskin?
Moleskin.
Is that still used today, or?
Sure.
Is that right?
You ever use moleskin, like over a blister or something, for, to kind of protect your foot, or? Sure. Moleskin, it's sort of a cotton, there's a dictionary definition, but it has adhesives, and then it's soft on the outside.
But you were saying...
everything. We went through all the wardrobe costume designer, went through all of the burlesque magazines, to see if there was something that would be appropriate, and we were very popular with our magazines. But there wasn't anything that was right, and she came up with the idea of just plain old moleskin.
Was the water warm?
Well, may I say that the warm water seen to by Mr. Hitchcock very carefully almost was my undoing, because in the shot, in the shower, in the last shot where he has a close-up of the eye and he pulls back to the overall of the bathroom with the body draped, halfway over the tub, still clutching this shower curtain. Well, anyway, because he was so meticulous in seeing that the water was comfortable for me, we were doing this laborious shot, which was difficult technically and for me because I had to have this glazed look and not be able to blink and then and hold this position. And for various reasons, it was going over and over, and I don't know what shot, maybe the 25th or something like that. And it was going well, and Mr. Hitchcock had a place in the camera where he snapped his fingers when when the camera couldn't see me blink because I couldn't, hold that look. Anyway, everything was going just fine, and it was getting toward the end of the shot, and the steam from the warm water started to get inside the moleskin, and I could feel, as I'm draped over this tub, I could feel the moleskin pulling away from my body.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to, if I moved and said, whoo, it spoils the shot, we have to do it again, and if I don't, I may expose a little to someone up in the rafters. And I thought, oh, to heck, they're not going to see anything they haven't seen, and I can't do it again.
So what happened?
We got the shot, and the moleskin came off.
Oh, boy. How did Alfred Hitchcock decide on you for the part in Psycho, Janet?
Well, I don't know what made him choose me of the many talented people in Hollywood. I do know that he always wanted to have, quote, a star or an established personality. Mm-hmm. So, because then the shock of her demise is really a shock, as opposed to if it were a complete newcomer, it wouldn't have quite that impact. And I don't know, all of the ramifications of why he sent me the book, but he did, and I'm sure glad he did.
Yeah.
And he sent me the book first, and then he said that that Marion's part would be better than it was in the book, and I didn't care. Just to work with him was enough for me.
How did they do the knife part of the scene? Was there a rubber knife or something?
Well, you never saw the knife penetrate,
Yeah, that's true.
See, that was the genius to me of Mr. Hitchcock, because he allowed the audience's imagination full reign. And, our imagination is much more vivid than anything you can graphically see.
That's right, and it happened real fast. I mean, it was kind of a flashy...
But that was the Saul Bass, storyboard with Mr. Hitchcock. They had a storyboard, or a shot board, however you want to say it, of the exact shots that the montage would have. And the impact, because it just went boom, 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 boom. And you thought you saw a lot of things that you didn't see.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But that to me is real genius and real movie making.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Vaughn.